Hey guys, welcome back to the video. It's Graham. In this video, I'm doing my Tuesday Amazon FBA video. So if you're here for my crypto content, feel free to listen in, but Tuesdays are pretty much reserved for my old subscribers of Amazon FBA business type videos. But today I'm going to be going over kind of my entrepreneurial journey. It's been going on for about a month now. It's been going on for about a year now. I started doing heavy research in about April of 2017, and it's now April of 2018. So I guess I wanted to just share my story. I know a lot of people are fairly new here, so they haven't seen my really old videos. And so I have discussed this before. However, now I think I'm a much more comfortable speaker in front of the camera. And, you know, I've progressed more since I made those last videos kind of discussing my transitioning into entrepreneurship. So I thought I might as well just give you guys the rundown. I think it's a cool story. Hopefully you guys can find some inspiration of it at the very least. And yeah, so I'll start basically after high school, because throughout all of high school, I never really knew what I wanted to do. Obviously there's lots of pressure on, you know, young kids to make something of themselves. And obviously I always wanted to make something of myself. My parents both went to university, so they were always really heavy on me going, because they kind of they saw that as the only way to get a job. I guess I kind of accepted that reality. I never really had passion for school. Like, I'm not bragging or anything, but I always did fairly well in school without trying. I kind of naturally picked up on things pretty fast. I'd say that's, you know, that's myself, just being honest. And I kind of lost the passion for school in about grade 10 or 11, and didn't really take it as seriously. Was more focused on other things, but I still didn't understand that there was other ways to create a life for yourself that you truly enjoy. So you know, when you're young too, you're impressionable, you want to please your parents, you're young. And I guess that was the biggest thing standing between me and really doing what I wanted to do, and doing what I thought was even possible, how to make money. Because back then, you know, I did a little bit of research, but I didn't really understand that there were so many possible ways to make income online, just because, you know, my parents didn't even really know that existed. They didn't even hear of what I'm doing now, and they didn't really see it as possible. So I did go to university for the first year, just because I was like, okay, well, I'll just go because this is what I'm expected to do. I took engineering. I did fairly poorly because I was more interested in, you know, new passions and stuff like that. I wasn't focused on school. I wasn't passionate about it. And so, you know, I scraped by, didn't do that well. And after a year, I felt really guilty because my parents helped pay for it. And, you know, I was essentially going to school when I didn't want to, and I was spending money, and I saw it as a waste of money. Obviously, my parents really saw it as worth the money, but I knew deep down that school just wasn't something that I really enjoyed or was passionate about, or even if it was just something that I never really thought I would want to do right out of high school. I thought maybe I'd like to take a break and then go back to school or something like that, because I didn't want to be going to school and paying for it while I had no passion for it. So after the first year, I basically just looked for anything I could do so that I wouldn't have to go to school anymore. I played hockey my whole life. I was a fairly decent player, nothing crazy good, but good enough to play at like a junior A level for any of you guys that know. So I contacted a team down in the States, went down there, played for a year. It was a good experience. We were a good team, got to meet a bunch of new guys. And yeah, it was a good experience. It is expensive because living down there, the dollar Canadian versus US wasn't the best at the time. And so yeah, I spent quite a lot of my money, all my earnings from my summer jobs, and my parents even had to help me out for the last little bit. So I came back from that basically with zero money, 19, 20 years old, and still no idea what I wanted to do. I had just basically used up a year playing hockey, and it was fun, but it got me no further ahead. So when I came back, I was a little bit more confident in myself, enough to the point where I could tell my parents, like, I don't want to do engineering, but I don't know what I want to do still. So they're like, we'll just try to take stuff that you enjoy at university. So once again, went back to university and I took things that I was interested in. I've always kind of been interested in numbers and not so much mathematics, but economics, I guess. So I did take some economics courses. I also have a liking of like psychology, not so much in the traditional psychology sense, but just, you know, reading people, seeing the way people think. So I was like, okay, let's try this out. And this time around I did better in school because it was stuff I actually kind of enjoyed, but I still didn't have passion for it. So once again, I did average, and that's when I really, throughout that year, I really focused on like personal development and basically just grew up, right? 20 years old, going to university on my own, and by the end of that year, I knew that that was the last year of school I would ever do. I didn't care anymore about societal pressures or what my parents wanted me to do. I said, all right, I'm done. Like, I'm not coming back. And luckily enough, my parents were somewhat understanding. My dad more so than my mom. My mom was really traditional, like wanting me to go to school, but I was like, you know what? I'm not doing that. I know that if I work hard enough at something, I can make money. And I didn't know what that was, but I knew that I wanted to chase it. And I see these people on the internet making money from YouTube and stuff like that. I still didn't even know all these other ways that you can possibly make an online income, but I was determined to get that. So I basically said, hey Dad, can I have a job at your business? So I guess I kind of got hooked up that way. He gave me one, and I worked there for about 8 months among a bunch of 50 and 40-year-olds, kind of just doing the routine for the last 20 years. Like those people, they go to work, they take care of their kids, you know, they kind of lead a life of repetition, which is nothing wrong with that. But for like a 21-year-old kid, that's not really what I wanted to see myself doing for the next 40 years. And I could literally, every day I was confronted with seeing other people that had been working there for 40 years, some of them, and being like, that's not what I'm doing. So all along, I kind of knew that I was saving up my money to put it towards something and at least risk it on a business or something, because I was just so unmotivated. There was nothing to really work towards to achieve, as with most jobs. I mean, that's how it is, right? If it's not your own business, you probably aren't that passionate about it. And so I saved a good chunk of money, and I was super, super cheap. And I kind of am a cheap person to begin with. So like I still live at home right now, other than when I'm traveling and gone. You know, my parents built this nice big house. I basically just live in the basement and I chill and I work now. But so I lived at home all those years. I don't really party. I don't like drinking. I just like working out, working on business. Like when I have goals, I usually am very focused on them. So like I've been really consumed with my business and stuff, and that's really been my main focus lately. And so yeah, I just basically spent no money. Like I'm talking like $300 a month, like $100 on car insurance, $100 on gas, and $100 on food. Nothing else. Just because I knew that every penny I could save would go towards eventually building a business. And I have no interest in partying. It's just not good for you. And I like working out and looking good as well. So it just, I don't drink really at all. It just doesn't really line up with my goals. So anyways, what did I do? I saved up a bunch of money and started looking up ways to make money online. And I can't even express how many scammy things you can come across before you kind of find something that looks half legit in terms of starting a business. And luckily I came across a guy named Nick Nurov. He is probably the guy that pretty much got me into Amazon FBA. His videos on YouTube, he has about 5 or 6K subscribers because he stopped making videos, but he was like a big inspiration of mine because, I just trusted him and his videos seemed legit. I followed his process. I literally watched I watched each of his videos several times over, hours worth of videos from him that I watched, and I just was really kind of inspired by him. So, you know what? I said, let's do it. So I quit my job and literally had this money saved up, and I was like, all right, I got X amount of money. If it goes to zero, I'm working a job, and if it turns into a business, well then let's go. So it was all or nothing, and I did as much research as I could. I came across Amazon FBA, like I said, and, you know, I went for it. So, you know, I ordered my first 900 units, a fairly expensive investment for a first time ever Amazon investment. And I guess I kind of skipped over, like, I did literally months of research. Like, I have notebooks this thick full of pages written out of like notes on processes of how to do shipping and everything, like textbook or like notebooks that thick worth of all notes from my product research. And I literally went through every one of Nick Neuraw's videos and like wrote it out and just learned as much as I could, because I just could not stand either going A, back to school, or B, to work a job that I hated. So I was like really motivated for this. And yeah, my first product caught on. It started slow, but me and a buddy kind of launched some products at the same time, and we kind of helped each other along. He gave me some tips, and within like a month, you know, things skyrocketed. I had a 5-day sale, then a 7-day sale, and then I had Prime Day. My 2 top competitors went out of stock. I sold like 18 products in 1 day, and that's when I really I've never been on more of a high than I was on that day. Even the first sale that you ever get on Amazon is like this euphoric feeling, and you know, a month later I made a day where I made like 18 sales in 1 day, and I've never felt that high in my life, you know, like the pure endorphins and whatever. Like I was just on a high, like I was running everywhere. I was just super pumped, and that's when I knew like, all right, this actually can happen. This is legit. Like, let's just keep it going, right? So product 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they came along eventually. All along, I had been watching videos of people over in Thailand, specifically Chiang Mai and Bangkok. There's tons of people out there that do the Amazon business thing. So I was like, let's try it. Let's go out there. Let's network with these people. It's super cheap to live out there. It's pretty good living conditions. And honestly, the amount of people that you can meet over there really excited me. So, you know, I booked a ticket. It was like $500 American round trip. I can't even fly across Canada that cheap. And, you know, I went out there for 3 months, met people. There was like weekly Amazon meetups, instructors, groups, all for free. You just go there, show up, network with other people. I met so many amazing people out there that have really like continued to inspire me to keep going, and shared their knowledge with me. And it's just an awesome community. So if you guys have like even $1,000 that you can go out there for a month, I highly, highly recommend that. If you've never been out to Thailand before, it was an awesome experience. And yeah, that was another big stepping stone for me, because it really helped catapult me to where I am now. So yeah, I mean, by the time I had spent my 3 months in Thailand, I had launched 2 products before I went to Thailand, and then I was doing the research for a couple more, and then throughout my 3 months in Thailand, I just realized that I still had quite a bit of money, and I was actually getting some money back finally from Amazon. So I just went all in, and I literally spent all 20 grand or so that I had, and just brought in like 5 products over the next 2 months. And that's when I really saw some growth. Like I say, now I have 7 products. They're all churning out a decent profit every day. It's a pretty amazing feeling. I almost take it for granted. And I'm really trying to remember like the memories of working a 9 to 5 and how much I hated it, because it's almost too easy these days. And I got to make sure I strive for more and more, or else, you know, like I could do nothing all day. I could go sit down and play video games if I wanted to. Not that I really do that much, but I could literally sit here all day and I'd still make 150 or 200 bucks. So that's kind of, I guess, what my struggles were. And throughout this whole process, I started a YouTube channel. So I got to meet some cool guys like Riley Bennett, living that life. Thrifty Steve, he was a guy out there in Thailand. Amazon Gorillas, that was the guy who unfortunately passed away just after I left Thailand, unfortunately. But it was a great opportunity to meet all these people, network. I started even getting the odd affiliate sale from my Jungle Scout recommendations, which is the software that I use to find all my products. Obviously, I'm a big fan of them. If I could ever meet Greg, the founder, I would love it because, you know, a small investment on his products, his product finding tools that he sells has turned into this large business for me that, you know, I'm making more than I was at my old job, and I work very little other than my YouTube videos these days and just looking for new products. So I'm super grateful that I invested the money on Jungle Scout. It was definitely worth it for me. And I mean, now I'm at the point where I'm making good money and I'm just trying to motivate myself to, you know, reach a realm that most people never even dream of, which I kind of finally reached that mindset once I started to pull in some good profits from several products. And then I was like, okay, all you got to do is repeat this and keep growing. And I guess I never really saw myself making more than 50 bucks a day on Amazon. And I never saw myself making ever more than $150,000 a year. Like, even if I went to school, I never saw myself ever making that much. And now, like, I'll be disappointed if I'm not making like 500K a year within the next like 2-3 years. I just know how easy and repeatable all these processes are and all this opportunity out there. And, you know, I just like, why not take advantage of it? Like, we're born in the best literal time in human history. We have the internet where you can just make money and travel and do whatever you want. So it'd be like a shame, and it would be like disrespectful of me not to take advantage of this to the most of my abilities. So that's really what I've been trying to remind myself to keep myself motivated. Obviously, I got into the cryptocurrency stuff with my YouTube lately. It's just another opportunity for growth and profit because, you know, I'm all about having the multiple streams of income. And really, you can't talk about Amazon all day. Like, there's only so much content I can make about Amazon before it gets dry. Like, really, all you do is you buy product research software, you find a product, you contact suppliers, you buy it from them, you ship it here, and you list it on Amazon. Like, I don't know how many more videos I can make, so that's why I'm focused on, firstly, cryptocurrency, because there is a lot of money to be made in crypto. Let's not even go there, but there's a lot of money to be made in crypto. And, I mean, the range of my content can't go on forever. So that's why I'm going to do more stuff like this, talking about just little things that aren't necessarily Amazon related, but just business related, because I think that can be valuable to some people as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little story. I hope I didn't miss anything, and maybe if that inspired you, that's awesome. Didn't really have much to talk about today because I feel like I've just covered so much of the Amazon stuff that I thought I'd just give a little update of the last year of my life. But I guess what I want to leave you guys with is, like, just attack what you want. Like, why are you sitting around waiting for years without taking action? Like, the moment I literally said, okay, I don't care what society thinks of me, I don't care what my parents think, I want to do this because I know that if I put my whole effort into whatever I try, that I can succeed, that's when my life turned around. And it's not like I'm some crazy guy where my life is amazing now. No, I still have a long way to go, but I really feel like so many people are, you know, too worried about the fear or what society thinks, and they don't actually ever take advantage of, you know, the 100 years that you get on this earth, where we happen to be born in like the best possible situation. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna keep working, hopefully take this to the moon. I know I'm not even anywhere near what I can eventually achieve, and I hope on getting there someday. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. For all my loyal subs that are actually watching to this point, I appreciate you. And feel free to catch up with me sometime. I know a lot of you guys have me on Messenger, so I'm always happy to talk with you guys and see how you guys are doing and keep up with you guys. So like the video, comment, let me know how you guys are doing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.